I'm Dr. Orion Taraban, and this is Psychacks, Better Living Through Psychology. And the subject of today's short talk is catastrophic thought cascades. So this is a term that I coined to describe the cognitive phenomena that generally precede the experience of being emotionally hijacked. It's core to the experience and syndrome of panic disorders, but we can also see it in play when people fly off the handle in rage or sink into a deep, dark despair. Basically, they precede nearly every sudden and intense emotional reaction. A catastrophic thought cascade is a series of imagined events that appear to be strongly linked by causality if viewed only through the lens of the emotion that produced it. These thought cascades also tend to lead people to some pretty dark places, hence catastrophic. Now, in the beginning, it can subjectively feel like you go from 0 to 8 million in a blink of an eye. That's your phenomenological experience. However, if we begin to apply greater mindful awareness to our own mental processes, that increased attention has the effect of slowing down the subjective experience of time. Mindful awareness can dilate the moment in which the emotional hijacking occurs, and we can come to see that many things actually happen in that blink of an eye. The idea here is to expand that moment by observing the chain of events in order to give ourselves the opportunity to get in there and disrupt the thought cascade before it hits catastrophic proportions. Again, any one link in the chain of the thought cascade will appear valid when viewed through the lens of the emotion that produced it. So the work here is to challenge that apparent validity by offering reasonable counter-factuals that derail the progress toward imagined catastrophe. And of course, this will be easier to do earlier in the process when we aren't as ensnared by emotion. For instance, some people might interpret not receiving a timely response to a text message as a sign that the other person is mad at them, which can stimulate a feeling of insecurity that can extrapolate a whole series of imagined events culminating in the heartbreaking end of a cherished relationship, all in the blink of an eye. This in turn can lead to a host of maladaptive behaviors that will generally degrade the quality of the relationship one way or the other. Of course, if the cascade is allowed to reach its ultimate destination, the emotion will feel so immediate and valid that only emotional coping skills would be appropriate at that time. However, if those people were to slow down their cognitive processes through mindful attention, they may be able to offer reasonable counterfactuals to disrupt this process, ideally as early as the initial precipitating interpretation. For example, maybe the other person isn't actually angry at them. Maybe he's just busy and hasn't had a moment to formulate an appropriate response yet. Or maybe the other person actually is angry, but that this could lead to a conversation instead of a big blowout fight, etc. The point is that every link in a thought cascade is potentially an opportunity for intervention. You'll get better at doing this and better at doing this quickly. Remember, you generally only have a second or two to get in there with practice, so hang in there. Do you have an experience with catastrophic thought cascades? Drop a comment below. And if you'd like to schedule a consultation, you can reach me at psychackspodcast@gmail.com. Talk to you soon.